Hello students, in this video we are going to solve SAT practice test 9 section 4 of mathematics, which consists of 38 questions, and without using calculus we are going to solve it with tricks and solutions that I'm going to show you. Quickly, let's just explore our very first question, which is given in the form of a linear equation in one variable. 3x plus 3 equals 27. What's the value of x that satisfies this one? So it's just like subtracting 3 on both sides, so it gets reduced to 24. Upon dividing with 3, you're going to get 3 times 8, 24. That is, B is our solution. Moving on to question number 2, our problem. 2 units of length used in ancient Egypt were cubits and palms, where 1 cubit is equivalent to 7. 140 approximately, what is the length of the best approximate fits in palms? So 1 cubit is equals to 7 palms, then 140 cubits is going to be how much? It's simply nothing but 140 times 9 basically. So that will give you, so it's not 9, sorry, it's going to be 7. So since 1 cubit is 7, so 140 times 7 is exactly going to be 70074 the 28, that is 980. So D is our option. Moving on to, if 2n by 5 equals to 10, what is the value of 2n minus 1? So we need to work it out and get the value of 2n minus 1. First we need to get what is the value of 2n, so we should get rid of this 5. Upon multiplying with 5 will give us 50, and since 2n itself is 50, 2n minus 1 is nothing but subtracting 1 from it, which is will give us 49. Option B. Moving on to question number 4. Root of x square equals to x. Which of the following x is not a solution? So we need to work it out with not a solution. So 0 is definitely a solution for this one. 1 is also equal to 1. Square root of 3 square, as we know the property of this one, will give us that. So we are left with only option A. That is our answer. Now moving on to the next set of questions that we have, that is question number 5 and 6, which refer to the same information of the graph. And it says the temperature of a cup of coffee during an experiment. They've plotted and got the graph. So on the vertical side we have temperature in Fahrenheit degree, and on the horizontal line we have time since cup was removed from heat source. So this is the information which is very crucial. Now coming back to this one, as whatever is there, 10 minutes interval thereafter immediately removed after being removed from the heat source. So what is the question saying? 5 is, of the following which best approximates the temperature in the degree Fahrenheit of the coffee when it was first removed from the heat source? So this is very important. First removed, so it means horizontal will be 0 at the y-intercept, on the vertical is closer to 200, that is 195. So first removed was 195, that is our answer. Moving on to question number 6, it says during which of the following 10 minutes, as we can see in the graph, every 10 minutes they have got the information which is decreasing. The coffee decreases at a greatest average rate. So if you look carefully over here, the greatest decrease is only in the initial interval, that is from 0 to 10, because the gap is from 195 and it went to closer to 150 above. So that itself is our answer, option A. Question number 7, if you look at it, it's a geometry question. So wherein intersecting lines AD and BE, they intersect at this one, so vertically opposite angle will be equal, and x is also given to us as 100. And as we know, angle sum property of a triangle, if you look at it, ABC 120, so it means this is 60. So this is also going to be 60 because of the vertically opposite angle. As I said, what is angle Y? It's going to be like, again, angle sum property. With that also we can work it out. So 60 plus 40 is 100, and 180 minus 100, it means this is nothing but 80. So option C, bingo, that's our answer. Moving on to next set of question that we have, question number 8. So according to the graph, if you look at it, XY plane, total cost which is given on the vertical side, distance traveled that is on the horizontal side, it's saying that what is the cost for each additional mile traveled. So first of all, we need to work it out with 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and with 1 if we take, it is 5. So the constant 5 minus 3 is 2 by over 1, rise over run, it means 2 is the correct answer. On to question number 9 that we have a tabular data. Customers purchase at the gas station, gasoline purchase and not purchase, and the total. So what are they saying us? Had 135 customers on Tuesday on a particular day. The customers Tuesday purchased gasoline, both or neither. What do we have to do? We have to work it out. Did not purchase gasoline. So it's a like probability question. So out of the total that's on that day, 135, not purchased are the seen. If you see, this is particular row, that is 50. So that is our answer. Just check, that is 50. That is D. Moving on to question number 10. Washington High School randomly selected freshmen, sophomore, junior and senior. So we have freshman, sophomore, junior and senior. So among that, for a survey about potential changes to next year's schedule of students selected for the survey, 1/4 for freshmen and 1/3 for sophomore. So if you take 1/3 and 1/4 for freshmen and sophomore, so if you take the LCM for that, what are you going to get? 1/3 and 1/4 is nothing but times it with 3. It will give you 3/12, whereas this one will give you 4/12. Upon adding them together, it will give you 7/12. So the remaining will be the 5/12. Okay, that's the fraction that we have. Now what you're saying is half of the remaining circuit students were juniors. If 336 was selected, how many were seniors? So what we have to do is, since we have to work it out with the remaining, that is juniors and seniors, if half of them were selected, so 5/12 we are going to divide it and multiply with the 336. So as I said, 5/12 times 336 will give us the remaining students. So 5/12 into 336, dividing with 3 times 4, 12, 3 times 1, 1 and 2, upon dividing it 1 12 with 4, 4 times 2, 8, 3, 4 times 8 is 32, 28 times 5 will give us 5 times 8, 40, 10, 140. This is the remaining number of students which has to be divided between juniors and seniors. So as they are equally divided, so D option 70 will be our correct answer. Question number 11. Plant A is currently 20 centimeters tall to plant B, which is 12 centimeters. So sort of a ratio question. Yeah, as I said, heights of plant A to plant B is equal to the ratio of equal to C to D. Okay, so A to B, that is 20 to 12, which is nothing but 4 5s are 4 3s are, that is 5/3, is exactly equal to plant C and D, which is nothing but 54 centimeter. To D, which we don't know, so we will call it as height of plant B as X, upon cross multiplying, since we have two fractions, so 5x is equals to 54, 3 times 4, 12, 3, 5, 15, 16, x equals to 162/5. So 5 3s are 15, 5 2s are 10.2, that is 32.4. We know that it's our answer. Moving on to question number 12 quickly. We've got biologists found a new species of a pale shrimp at the world's deepest undersea belt. The vent is 3.1 miles below the sea surface. Approximately how many kilometers below the sea? So approximately, this is what you have to remember. It means our answer is going to be in decimal. We need to round it off. So for 1 kilometer, there is like 0.6214. So for how many kilometers is going to be 3.1 miles? So kilometer to miles, we need to work it out how many kilometers. So on dividing this, 3.1 divided by 0.6214 is going to give us exactly in kilometers. If we just divide 3.1 with 0.6214, we'll get our answer. 3.1 divided by 0.6214, and it's going to be 4.9. As I said, it is approximately equal to 5, so that is our answer. Question number 13. A cargo helicopter delivers only 100 pounds and 120 pounds. So this is what we have to keep it in mind. For each delivery trip, the helicopter must carry at least, so it is inequality question, optimization question. So at least let's just call it 100 as X and 120 pounds packages as Y. Together this is at least, so it can be maximum more. So we can have greater than or equal to 10. And the total weight of the package is at most, means it should not go beyond 1100. That is, so as we were discussing, that 100 packages X and 120 packages of Y, I mean pound packages, they will be like at most 1100. So if I could just write it over here in terms of X, this is going to give me 10 minus Y. Remember, we need to work it out and get the maximum number of 120 packages. So how many it would be, and it should be less than 10, at least 10 packages. So the number cannot go beyond that, because together it has to be at most 1100. So let's just take it with the maximum 6, what is given in our option. So this is like 100 into 6, 600, 120 into 6 will give us 720, and together if I add, it will go beyond this one. So certainly this is not our option. Let us check with the fifth one. 100 times 5 is 500, and 120 times 5 is nothing but 6, 5 to the 10, so that is nothing but 1. Exactly, it's going to be 1100. 120 times 5 will give us 600. 600 plus 500 is 1100. So option C is the best one, because that many packages of 120 pounds will give us the exact solution, that is 1100. Moving on to the next set of questions that we have. Company purchased a machine valued at $120,000. The value of the machine depreciates by the same amount each year, so that after 10 years it is 30,000. So first what we need to do is 120,000 after 10 years, how much it is depreciated? The total value is 30, so it means 90,000 we are left with, and it is depreciating after 10 years, that is 30,000. So if we divide with the total, we are left with $9,000, that is each year. So it means that is denoted by T. So the total value is 120. So option B is the correct one. Moving on to question number 15. The line M in the xy plane contains the 2 points. It means there is a linear relationship, and we need to just work it out and get the slope for an equation. We know y is equal to mx plus b. In order to get the constant rate, the rise over run, so difference of y, that is 4 minus 1 3, of x 2 minus 0 is 2, so we got that is 3 by 2 x plus b. Now in order to get the correct intercept in the y on the vertical side, you need to just plug in any of the point. Best is 0 comma 1, that is x 0 and y 1. It means your b intercept on the y-axis at the positive side, b is 1. So your equation will be this one, and check where exactly is your option D. Moving on to question number 16, that we have binomial with binomial subtracting x square and 4. A is constant if the expression is equivalent to bx, where b is constant. What is the value of b? So upon multiplying the two binomials, what we get is 4a x square, and this one will give us negative 4x. Likewise, 4 times this one will give us 4ax minus 4. Remember, we have negative x square plus 4 attached to it is equal to equivalent to bx. So is equal to bx, and positive and negative gets cancelled, so x square is like term. Upon taking it together, we get 4a negative 1, and as well as x is like term, so I'm going to get 4a minus 4, which is exactly equivalent to bx. So if you could just equate it, how are you going to equate? You're going to equate x square on the left side to the x square on the right, since we don't have it. So it means 4a minus 1, there isn't any x square term, so which is 0. So basically 4a minus 1, so 4a is equals to 1, you can write it 4a equals to 1, and since 4a minus 4 is exactly equal to b, upon substituting 4a as 1, so it means your b answer is going to be negative 3. Bingo, that is our answer B. Moving on to the next set of question, linear simultaneous equations we have, just add it up. 2 plus 4 6w, 4 plus 5 9w, and 14 plus 25 is 39. Upon dividing this with 3 will give us the required result 2w, that is 2w plus 3t is equals to 3 times 13, so that is our answer, 3 into 13. Remember, we have added the terms, two equations and we got 39. Upon dividing by 3, we are getting that answer. Question number 18 refers to the following information. Jennifer bought a crunchy grain cereal. Ingredient from the box servings 3/4 cup of 210 calories, of which 50 are calorie fat. Each serving, which is 5%, which is nothing but 0.05, that you have to remember. For the daily allowance is 5%. If P% of an adult's daily allowance of potassium is provided by X servings of crunchy grain cereal per day, which of the following expresses P in terms of X? Remember, this is nothing but percentage. I would directly go to this one because it said that 5%, that is, if we take 15, it's going to be 5.3 or 5 times 3. Now moving on to question number 19 that we have. On Tuesday, Jennifer will mix crunchy grain cereal with super grain. So we've got crunchy and super grain. Super grain cereal provides 240 calorie per cup. So super grain is 240 per cup. And what about crunchy? If you can check here, it is nothing but 3/4 of 210, which will exactly going to be 4 times 5, 4 times 2, and then multiplying this will give us 280. They said that mixture is 270, total mixture for 1 cup, that is super grain and this one in 1 cup. So super grain plus S is equals to 1. Now 240 of this one, that is 280 C plus 240S is equals to 270, the total mixture. Now if I could just replace, and how much super grain, so I'm concerned about S. So if I could just write C is in terms of X, it's going to be 1 minus S. So upon substituting over here, I'm going to get 240S is equals to 270. Multiplying this will give me 280 minus 280S plus 240S is equals to 270. So this is going to give me around 10, negative 10, and this is exactly like 40S, since as I told you we are concerned and find out how much super grain. So S is going to be 10 over 40, which is nothing but 1/4, that is option B, bingo. Moving on to the next question, question number 20. Which of the following could be the graph of the number of calories from fat in crunchy grain cereal as a function of number of 3/4 cup servings of the cereal? So if we look at the graph, we've got a constant, we've got a decreasing, and the 2 1, and we are confused like from where to do it. So it's simple trick what you have to do. So it's not even decreasing, so we have to just neglect it. Neither it is a constant one. So if we just got the linear one, so you don't have to even go for the check slope, just check where's the vertex. If the vertex is at 0 and it's increasing, it means the vertex is 0. Option A would be the correct answer. Looking at the question number 21, we need to just work it out which is the best fit for the exponential function equation that we have in the xy plane, where y-intercept of t has a y-intercept and it's a positive constant. So what we have going to do is just replace x with 0 and check what are you going to get. So if I do that, it's going to be negative, which is absolutely wrong option, and these two will give me exactly zeros, entire 0. So the only option left is D. Now moving on to question number 22. The weights in pounds for 15 horses in a stable were reported in all the mean, median, range and standard deviation for the data were found. The horse with the lowest reported weight was found to actually weigh 10 pounds less than its reported. What value remains until if 4 values are reported using the correct weight? So the less than its reported and actually weight. So I think the range, since it's going to be a little bit farther, so I can say the range. Moving on to the next. Near the end of a US cable news show, the host invited viewers to respond to a poll on the show's website. So the federal show, at the end of the show, the host reported 28% responded yes, 70% responded no. Which of the following best explains? The percentage do not add up to this is wrong. Those who responded to the poll were not the random sample. Yes, bingo, that's our answer. Because it doesn't were not a random sample taken from the population. Moving on to the next question, we've got f of x, a function given which is x square minus 3, and they're asking f of x plus a equals this one and get the value of a. So just plug in x plus a in the given function, f of x plus a, which is exactly equals to 5 times x plus a whole square negative 3. Upon expanding this with a plus b whole square, we are going to get x square plus 2 times ax plus a square minus 3. Just multiply it with 5x square, 5 times 2 10 ax plus 5 times a square minus 3. Remember, they're asking us a, and if you can check here, a is over here and over there, and this is 5x square, which is exactly equal to this one. So we have to just find out what is the value of a so that it is exactly equal to 30. So 10 is already a clue for us. 10 times 3 will give us, so option is C. That's how simple it is. You don't have to show the working rule, that itself is your answer. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is a trigonometric question that we have. If sine x degree is equals to a, which of the following must be true for all values of x? So for this one, all the students must know that in the right angle triangle, we have this angle right angle, and this, let's just take x degree as per given question. So let's just take random number for sine. If we take it as 4 over 5, and this is 90, and definitely this is going to be your 90 minus x, and remember this is nothing but the complement of sine. Remember, this is your sine x. So just check it out. What is going to give us cos is nothing but, as I said, complementary angle. So bingo, that is our answer, 90 minus x. You don't have to just do anything. Whether if it is given in cos, same way you have to take it as sine. So they are both are complementary angles. Moving on to the next question, 26. It's a quadratic function which is modeled with the height above the ground h in feet of a projectile x seconds after it, and we all know when we graph it, it's saying that in the xy plane, when we graph it, definitely when you do it, when you throw something up, it will come down after t seconds, and this is its maximum. And the reason why I draw it over here, because it's negative coefficient of x square, which means the parabola is downwards. Now what they are asking, what is the real meaning of the positive? The initial height of the projectile, no, it's not going to represent it. They are saying real life meaning, what we have understood. Maximum height, no. The time at which the projectile reaches its maximum height, even not. The time at which the projectile hits the ground, yeah, that's what the real meaning. Throwing up is not the challenge. At what time it reaches the ground, touches the ground, that's more important. Moving on to question number 27. In the xy plane, the graph of the polynomial function f crosses x-axis at exactly 2 points. That 2 points are given, that is the zeros of the quadratic or the parabola. Both are positive. So when both are positive, we know when we write it and represent it, it's going to be x minus a and x minus b. Whatever if it touches x-axis at the positive side, definitely, because they have told us the clue is positive. Had it been negative, it would have been the opposite side. So option A is your correct answer. Moving on to question number 28, we have again a standard form of the parabola, that is ax squared plus bx plus c is graphed in the xy plane. Well, when they have asked questions of this sort, you just have to look carefully and understand what they have given us, which form of the parabola they have given us, whether standard form, whether the vertex form, or they're asking us the equation of a parabola, what. So here they're just asking us, following characteristics of a graph is displayed as a constant or coefficient of the equation. So this is the clue that we have. So if I just plug in, or we could get the zeros, which makes the entire equation 0. So if x is 0, what is the y-intercept? Basically the constant is going to be 2, which is nothing but your y-intercept, the option C. So the information that is given to us, it's a linear statistics question that we have, a data year since x, so horizontal take it as x, and this is the vertical minimum wage in dollars. So as you can see, as x increases, y is also increasing. What does the line of best fit increase in the minimum wage over 70 period between 1910 to 210? If you could just look in the equation itself, they have given constant, that is 0.096. That is the best answer for this one. Moving on to question number 30 that we have, again the graph, linear graph, which is statistics, temperature in degrees to the sales in dollars. They're asking us on 12 different days, starting from this 12 to the next 12 means 24. So we'll just look at the information that is giving us. It's approximately equal to 500 but not exactly 500, so we'll take just lesser than that, which is 12,480, and on 24 it's going again and reaching closer to 900, which is not, so let's just take it as 24. And remember, we need to work it out and get the best fit for the equation. So if I could take that 880 minus 480, which will give me 400, upon dividing by 12, what it will give me, it will give me 400 divided over 12 is going to give me 33. So it means I got the clue that it's not A and B, 33. This, among these two, we have to select which is the best equation of a line for the best fit that is given to us. So as we've got the point, that is 12,480, so $480 is the total amount. So 33 times 12 plus check, so it's not going to be 300, so my option is only T. That is how you can make conjectures about your answer, which is going to be very crucial to get down to your final solution. So question number 31 is a circle with the center and the 2 points that lies on the circle 4,0 and 20,0 in the xy plane. The circle has center, okay, radius is 10. So if I could just draw, this is my radius, which is 10, and from 4 to 20, 20 minus 4 is going to give me 16. It means this is here to here it's 8, and here to here it's going to be symmetrical, and a line from center to the chord, it's going to give us perpendicular 90 degree. So we know 3 is to 4 is to 5 is same like 6 is to 8 is to 10. This is the triangle that we have, the side. So 8, 10 means this is going to give me 6. So the value of k over there on the top would be 6. That is our answer. Moving on to question number 32. In the xy plane, L has a y-intercept which is negative 13, and it's perpendicular to the line with the equation. So this line perpendicular equation means your slope is going to be the reciprocal and positive, so it will be 3 by 2x, and with the y-intercept that is 13, the point is 10 comma b, so it means the y is b. That's what we have to work it out. And if it is 10 means the x is 10, so 2 times 5, 3 times 5, 15, 15 minus 13 is going to give me value 2 for b. That's how you do it, and this is a probability question, as we can skim it. Now what they're saying is the table above shows the distribution of the blood type and the rhesus factor of a group of people. Of one of these people who is rhesus negative, so we just have to look at this particular criteria. Person has chosen a blood type 1 by 9, so it means this one, what is equivalent to this one, blood type B, that is not 1 by 9. What is equivalent to this one is nothing but 2 over 18. It means the total now for negative is 7 plus 2 9 plus 1 10. So out of 10, 18 we have the total, so the x is going to give us, that is 8. That's how you do the answer so fast. Now moving on to question number 34, which is a graph. So number of goals scored to the number of games. Based on the graph above, in how many games player did the soccer team score equal to the median number of goals for the 29 games. So 29 is an odd number, and we know if this is the median, so we are left with 28 numbers, that is 14 and 14 on the either side. So this is going to be the middle one, which is 14 plus 1, 15th term. We are going to look at the 15th one, that is our median. So it's always best to go from the right side or the left side, but this is the easiest way. So 8 is already here, and this is 9. It means it has crossed the median, which is 17. They said score equals to the median number of goals, and it has crossed this one, so that is nothing but 2 is our answer. Moving on to question number 35, which says Gisela would owe $15,000 in taxes each year if she was not eligible for any tax deductions, and that is reduced, she owes by 2325. Okay, so if we divide this with 100, we are going to get 2325 divided by 15,500 will give us the exact answer. Let's just check it. In this representation, oh, this is a little bit wrong. Corrected, it's going to be 2325, which he has to owe it, and we just need the percentage, that is 15,500. So upon dividing it, let's just check it, it's going to give us 2325 divided 15,500 is 0.15. But the answer that we are going to write, remember that they are saying what is the value of t in terms of percentage. So don't write the answer as 0.15, you have to write the value of t, which is 15. Moving on to the next question. We have simultaneous equation, but they say the system of equations above has no solution. If a and b are constants, what is the value of a by b? So when we know when there is no solutions, when they are parallel, so the coefficient of a and b will be exactly same like what you're saying over here. So a is equals to 3 by 4, and when they say b, so negativity will go, so you're going to get 1 over 2. And when we divide it, what are we going to get? So when you divide this 3 over 4 with half, you're going to get 3 over 2. That's your final answer, because this will be the reciprocal to divided by 4 will give us half. So the last final two questions we've got for the SAT practice test 9 section 4, 37 and 38. We've got a table of information international tourist arrivals in millions for these countries that is given to us. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 countries. Okay, what are they asking us from 2012 to 2013? The million is given in population. Okay, tourist arrivals, sorry. So based on the information given in the table, how much greater in million was the median number of international tourist arrival in 2013 than in 2012? So median, as we know, the number is 9, which is odd. As I said, if median is over here, so 8 means 4 equally divided. 4 plus 1 is the 5th. Just work it out either from top or bottom. 1 2 3 4 5 Italy. So they have asked us the difference, so 46.4 and 47.7. so the difference in the 2 years, that will give you 1.3. and they say 10th, this is the 10th. They've asked us the answer in 10, so 1.3 is the answer. Final question, the number of international tourist arrivals in Russia in 2012 was 13.5% greater than in 2011, since we don't have 2011 data, but 13.5 greater in 2012. So Russia in 2012 is 24.7, so you write down 24.7, and it is 13.5% greater. So if percentage, as we know, it is out of 100, and it said increased plus, so just add it up, you will get 13.5% would be 1.135. so what you have to do, you just have to divide it to get the final answer. So if you look at it, when we divide 24.7 divided with 1.135 is giving us the answer 21.76. 21.76. so when we just 21.76 is what we got. So if we subtract, remember they are asking us the answer in nearest integer, so we don't want the answer in decimal. So 24 minus 21 will give us answer 3. That is the exact answer. So this is the end for SAT practice test 9 students for section 4. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe and spread the knowledge. Thanks for watching.